And other than just showing up, some of those guys, the Warriors players, the Warriors staff, who were some that really reached the prisoners on like a human level, rather than just showing up? They wanted to show up and really kind of make a contribution to the prisoners that you were with.
If you a believer in the Bible and you're listening to me, everything the Warriors are doing with San Quentin State Prison is everything that Jesus lays out in the New Testament about how you're supposed to treat those who you consider less than you. When I was naked, you clothed me. When I was hungry, you fed me. When I was in prison, you came to visit me. Mhm. So nobody from the Warriors organization, since I was incarcerated and since I've been out, has ever said out of their mouth in front of me, or even gave me even the suspicion that they weren't sincere in what they were doing. No, the Warriors are straight up. Specifically Draymond Green. We're talking about a guy who was the #1 draft pick for the Warriors in 2012. Then he comes back in 2017 with Kevin Durant. Both occasions, Draymond stayed the entire game. Both occasions, he went away from his quote unquote handlers and went and sat over what we used to call the Black Sea in San Quentin. There's an area where most of the blacks kick it at because everything in prison is racially segregated, even on a level 2. So there's a space by the court I used to call the Black Sea. None but black folks over there. And you look up during a timeout when I'm not talking, and I look to my left, and Draymond Green is sitting at the table playing dominoes with my homeboy Marvin Cosby, aka Lunch Pail, the original Lunch Pail inside. This dude hit that basketball court like it's a job. Hard hat and a lunch pail when he come up in there. One of the best defenders and one of the most pure jump shots you ever gonna see from B-Nut. B-Nut, I hope you see this, baby. I put you out there this time. And he's sitting there with my boy Marvin Cosby, Caesar McDowell, who was the heckler in the movie Cue Ball, who now is the CEO of Unite the People, a nonprofit organization that's working on sentence reduction. He's sitting at the table with Draymond Green, and there's a third person there. So you got a 4-man domino game. Draymond's over there talking. You know what I'm saying? I hear, "Wow, what is you talking about?" And somebody said something. He looked. He said, "Fool, my uncle's in the penitentiary in Michigan. Y'all ain't said nothing." Draymond Green, Draymond, Money Green, the realest of the real. That doesn't take away from anybody else sitting in there. Coach Jackson came up in there in 2012 when I'm doing play-by-play on the sideline with no microphone. At halftime, he slides up to me. "Hey, man, I know some dudes at ESPN. If they heard you, they would really be worried about their jobs. Do you realize what Mark Jackson said to me in 2012, man? I heard people from 1994 to 2012 tell me how good I was, tell me how much I sounded like Chick Hearn. But all these people are wearing blue. Even guards would come up to me and be like, 'Man, you're real good.' But I just had Mr. Hand Down, Man Down, Mr. Sit next to Mike Breen at that time, Mr. B up in the booth talking crazy, Mr. Mama, there go that man again, slide up to me at halftime in a game inside a prison and said, 'I know some dudes at ESPN that if they heard you, they would be worried about their job.' And trust me, when he said that, I was the wrong motherfucker to tell that. Because I looked, I said, 'What? Mark Jackson said that? I'm finna get better.' Because I wasn't even that good then. I was making a bunch of mistakes. It's the power of a word at the right time in the right season. When you plant that seed like that, and he planted that in my head, I said to myself, fuck it. I'm going to quit. I'm going to stop acting like a play-by-play announcer, and I'm going to be a play-by-play announcer. I'm going to stop. I'd always imitated Chick Hearn in some shape, form, or fashion. When I was at Centinela, I kind of broke away from the Chick Hearn mode. They still was calling me Baby Chick, but it turned more into Showtime. The rebirth of Chick came when I'm sitting up at Centinela after Mark Jackson said that to me. I'm like, man, I need a hashtag to get ready for it just in case I get out of jail. Even though I got 50 to life and my parole date isn't until 2043, somehow, some way, I need to make this hashtag last all the way till I get out.